What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Nemo Propaganda here. And a couple of weeks ago, I did a video on products I wish I would have bought after the review. Products I regretted sending back to the manufacturers. Today, we're going to do the opposite. I'm going to tell you about products so good, I bought them after the review period. Now, I don't want to lie to you guys. Some of these manufacturers, about 2 or 3 of them on this list, were very gracious. I emailed them. I said, send me an invoice. And they said, don't worry about it. We're going to retire this review sample. It's been around the block. It's yours to keep. And they didn't charge me. But most of these products I did buy with my own cold hard cash, just to, get that out of the way. So first one on this list is going to come as no surprise to anyone. The Bucard S400 Mark II. The minute I knew Bucard was working on a new S400, I had to have it. The regular S400 was my daily driver. I love that speaker, that warm mid-range, that detailed treble that's easy on the ears, and that powerful bass. I love the Bucard S400 Mark II. It's my daily driver, and I would not be without it. Another product on this list I knew I had to have for myself, and this is one, tell me if you guys do this. I convinced myself I needed this, but I was just lying to myself. I just wanted it. The Emotiva TA2. What I told myself was it would have a lot of utility because it has that onboard bass management, and it makes setting up subwoofers really easy. So I lied to myself and was like, you'll use it for your YouTube channel. You totally need this. But the truth was I just wanted it because I thought it was cool. So anyways, the Emotiva TA2 plays music duty in my bedroom all the way upstairs on the 3rd floor of my home. And sometimes I sleep listening to music or a podcast. If I'm watching TV in bed, which is pretty rare, but if I am, I got the Emotiva TA2 up there connected to a set of speakers. And it's just a great amp. Tons of power, tons of features, very affordable, good sound quality, really good clarity. And again, that onboard bass management, incredible feature for the money. Another amp that I just had to have after the review, and it was so inexpensive and so small, the RSL IA255.1. The sound quality you get for $110 out of this little amp just doesn't make sense. Highly refined treble. And guys, this amp, it's only $110. You could use it with speakers that are like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and it'll still sound incredible because it's got a low noise floor. It's even got a subwoofer output. I mean, this is a crazy good amp. Guys, if you're putting together a system and the speakers you're going to buy are taking up the bulk of your budget, buy yourself a RSL IA255.1 in the meantime. It's 110 bucks and it is going to surprise the hell out of you. What else is on this list? Heko Salon Revolution 3. Man, I remember this like it was yesterday. I published it. Hold on, let me make a space because I jumped down on the list too far. I don't want to lose my space. I skipped some products, but it's okay. We'll talk about the Heko Salon Revolution 3. As soon as the review was over, I emailed Audio Advice, said send me an invoice. I had to have it. I love the sound. Unfortunately, it does seem that speaker is discontinued, so let's just move on to the next product. REL 1003 Mark II. This is a benchmark product for my channel. I knew I had to have it. It's going to serve a lot of utility. And this is what I mean by that. I have a rule for myself. When I get a subwoofer in for review, if it's like $1,000 or so, it has to beat the REL 1003 Mark II in one of 3 categories. It's a really easy test. It has to either sound better. That's going to be a little difficult because it's a great sounding sub. It has to play louder. If it's $1,000 or more, it should be able to play louder. Or it has to extend lower. If it can't do one of those 3 things, I put the subwoofer back in the box. I email the manufacturer and I tell them, unfortunately, I do not think the subwoofer is competitive for the money. Please send me a return label, and I send it back. And I have had to do that a couple of times, and it does piss off some manufacturers, but I don't care. If your subwoofer cannot beat a REL 1003 Mark II in one of those 3 categories, sound quality, extension, or output, and your subwoofer costs more, I think your subwoofer is not worth the money. Some of you guys might wonder, hey, why don't you just still make the review and just tell us it's not worth it? That's not what I started this channel for. I didn't start this channel to bash products or tell people what not to buy. I started this channel to help people determine what to buy. You know what I'm saying? To help point people in the right direction. And I do that by, telling you guys about products that I think are good, how they sound, things like that. So next product that I had to have for myself was the Voyager transmission line, that transmission line speaker Thomson Stereo made. Such a unique sound for that price category. $1,200, rolled off treble, dark in the treble, very warm in the mid-range, extremely natural, ton of realism, and crazy powerful bass. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like the Thomson Stereo Voyager transmission line. I promise you there's nothing like it. I know people that are like, after the review, they were like, I don't even like need a set of speakers. I'm not even in the market, but I'm just going to buy it because I want to check it out. And they were like, whoa, this really is a totally different sound than anything else I own. So just tonally, it is just so good. It is so good. It really is. What else do we have on this list? RSL CG3M bookshelf speakers, I think $220 for the pair. They're sold in singles at $110 a piece. Reason I wanted the RSL CG3M little bookshelf speakers are the same reason I wanted the REL subwoofer. Utility for this YouTube channel. The RSL CG3M 220 a pair, it is my benchmark ultra affordable speaker. If I get a speaker in review that's say $300, $350, it has to sound at least as good as the RSL CG3M, because the RSL CG3M is phenomenal. You get a lot of refinement for the money and a very effortless top end and a tonally balanced sound. It's a great little speaker, guys. All right, next one, ATC SCM11. I had to have this. I had to have it. I remember I emailed the distributor. I said, send me an invoice. I don't care what the discount is, how much it is. Just send me the invoice. I have to have it. Again, utility, but there's a second reason. So the primary reason, I just love the sound. The speaker's neutral, yet emotionally engaging. It has detail and it's highly refined. Bass, a little bit light, but quick and tight. But the main reason it's got so much utility for me is it's perfectly neutral. So if I'm ever confused for one reason or another, or just having a hard time nailing down a sound, and I just need a reset, I could just stop what I'm doing, throw the ATC SCM11s on the stands, and get my benchmark. Like, this is neutrality. This is good sound, because they are perfectly neutral, yet still manage to be very enjoyable to listen to. It's a fantastic sounding speaker, and I'm surprised they're not more popular, honestly. All right, next speaker on the list. This is a bit silly, I'm not going to lie. Well, the reason is silly. The speaker's not silly. The Mon Acoustic Supermon Mini. I bought this for TV duty, if you can believe that. It's not a cheap speaker. It's $2,000, and I paid money for it. I did, because it sounds fantastic when watching TV. That might sound ridiculous to some people, but hear me out. First and foremost, the speaker's phenomenal with music. Let's just get that out of the way. But one of the strengths of the Supermon Mini is the way it conveys the human voice. Vocal regions in music were just incredible out of the Supermon Mini. And I had this theory. I was like, it's probably going to have great dialogue clarity for TV. You know, Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, video games, whatever. A lot of times it's hard to hear what's happening in a TV show because the dialogue is so damn muffled these days. The Supermon Mini are upstairs in my living room system. And man, let me tell you, I never have to mess with the remote control when I'm watching TV. I can always hear the dialogue so clearly, and I love them for that. And they look beautiful. And it was just for me. I wanted it for my living room. It's just such a good looking speaker, and it does so well on top of a media console for that. It's overkill. I get that. Had to have them. Hagel H190. It's another product. Again, utility. The Hagel H190, great sounding amp. A little bit smooth in the treble region, right? This is important because my reference amplification, Kinky Studio, preamp and power amp, a little bit forward in the treble region, very revealing in the treble region. And it's not like, let's say I got a Bowers & Wilkins speaker in for review. I would not want to use my Kinky Studio separates with Bowers & Wilkins. It doesn't have the synergy. You're doubling down on that same open, airy top end. It becomes too much of a good thing. I need an amp that's going to have a smoother treble region and take that edge off of certain speakers. So, you know, the Hagel H190 just has a lot of utility for my channel, and it's a great amp. What else is on this list? So this next one, this is the most expensive product I ever bought for myself after the review. The Monacoustics Platamon. But believe it or not, I was very financially responsible about this. Hear me out. So the reason I love the Monacoustics Platamon is because at the time when I reviewed the Monacoustics Platamon, I owned the Focal Canta number ones. The Canta number ones were my most expensive set of speakers. They were kind of like my reference of what like above $5,000 should sound like. And the Canta number one's a great speaker, don't get me wrong, but like I got the Platamon in and I was like, whoa, this is a similar sound as the Canta number one, but literally better at everything. And I was like, dude, I'm going to sell my Canta number one and buy the Platamon. And that's what I did. So I didn't have to come out of pocket a whole lot because I sold my Canta number ones. I used all that money towards the Platamon. So I only had to come up a little bit to get those. And just the sound is so good. It is so freaking amazing. It's not a speaker I listen to all the time because it's reached that level of high end where like, if your source isn't ideal, like I wouldn't use the Platamons for like death metal. That's like gritty and dirty necessarily. They do need good amplification, decent recordings, and I just love it, man. I had to have it. So the Platamon is now like my benchmark high-end speaker. And then this last one, CSS, the 1TD. I had actually bought the speakers already because I didn't have a relationship with CSS yet. I bought them on the used market in order to review them for you guys. And, I've done that many times in the past. Having a smaller channel means oftentimes I'm not going to have a relationship with a lot of companies. So I got to buy the stuff. So I bought them, I reviewed them, and I didn't sell them. Usually when I buy something just to review it, I sell it afterwards. I take a little bit of a loss. It is what it is. I had to keep them. The CSS Crichton 1TDs, man, that powerful bass, that warm mid-range, that rolled off treble that's easy on the ears. Such a beautiful sound. Love that speaker. So those are the products I bought. And if you guys are wondering, like, how come these like other products aren't on the list, or why didn't you buy this or that, you can ask me in the comments if you're curious on why I didn't buy something, and I'll let you know. But for the most part, it's probably going to come down to the simple fact of like, I can't buy everything I love. I'd run out of money and I'd run out of space. You know what I mean? And some products are just like not a sound I may enjoy, for example, like the Bowers & Wilkins 607S2 I reviewed. Good speaker, a little too bright for my taste. A lot of people love it. It's just not for me. There are products that are just not for me, and that's okay, guys. So with that said, we're going to bring this video to a close, guys. Let me know if you got any questions. You can ask in the comments. This YouTube channel also has a free Discord. Until next time, take care.